Alex, now that the bye week's over and game week's here, how fired up are you guys to get this opportunity to play Memphis at home?
Yeah, I'm super fired up. I think the whole team is too. I think the whole team's. I think this is the biggest game in the past 5 years. At least the biggest game since I've been here. Both 2-0. Or I guess FSU's are sorry. Memphis is 3-0 now. They just beat FSU, who was ranked 10 at the beginning of the season, top 10 team. Projected to go to the college football playoffs. And they handled them pretty well. Watching the film on them yesterday, they're a good team. They really are. Good offense. A lot of veterans on the offense, and their defense is really athletic. They're big, fast. They have some guys returning that we played last year. It's a great opportunity for us. In my mind, we have nothing to lose. I think they're ranked 26th in the country right now, just outside the top 25, and our intention is to keep them out of the top 25, and I think we can do that if we play our game. Like you said, we're at home. We got the home field advantage. It's gonna be packed. It's a big game, so super fired up.
What have you seen that's improved on their defense as their defense is taken up another notch this year?
Yeah, just watching them, they fly around. I'd say they're pretty big, not crazy, but they're just athletes. They hustle. All 11 guys are running to the ball. Like I said, they have some vets coming back who are just some really good playmakers. Their DBs are fast, super sound fundamentally, and they're really high on themselves right now, coming off 3-0. They feel like they should be in the top 25 right there with a lot of the other teams who are 3-0. And so they're going to come out. They're going to come fast for sure, thinking they can just play us with their base stuff. I'm sure they'll do some tricky stuff too. Stuff last year that we've seen, definitely some different stuff that we've seen from other teams. So it's gonna be a battle for sure up front. Out on the edge, getting leverage. So it's gonna be a tough game for sure.
Do you think these chunk plays that you guys have had, each of you really on offense, have had big yardage plays, has helped open things up for each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have the playmakers we have open up a lot of things for us. Just going back to our skill guys. We got Chat, Eli, myself, Daba, and it's hard to game plan against a lot of guys who can make plays downfield. Also Blake, he's a threat running the ball as well as passing. So it's hard to when you game plan against a guy like Eli, that might open up Chat, that might open up me and Daba in the run game. So it's going to be, I think, the chunk plays, the explosive plays. We always set goals for those at the beginning of the week. You got to have them to win games. I think our goal's 8 at least explosive plays. So it's just something you're gonna have to win games for sure.
Thanks.
Memphis is ranked 22nd in the coaches poll, and they are at the top of others receiving votes in the AP poll, which would be 20s. Right.
Alex, you all put up a lot of yards against this team last year. Does that give you confidence going in, or do you just say totally new defense? What happened last year doesn't matter?
No, I think that does. I think for me, especially, I think that was the first game. I kind of broke out. I had that long touchdown run. That was my first run, so that's always good to remember. I kind of blacked out at the time, but it was cool watching it. I watched the film on our game the other day. It was good to see that. But I think, like I said about the explosive plays, I think we're going to need those. I think we're going to have to, take some shots downfield. I think, breaking some runs is going to be huge for us. And I think what we did last year, I think it's going to have to be more of the same this year too. We had a few explosive plays last year. Set us up for success. And we had a chance to win the game towards the end of the fourth quarter. So I really think, we have the talent, like I just said, to, explode on these guys. I really think we do. I think we're going to have a lot of opportunities to make big plays. And I really think it comes down to just, fundamentally being sound, doing our job, and those plays will come.
Coach Newberry talked yesterday about the importance of also having some time-consuming drives to keep that offense off the field. Do you feel like you all are at the point where you can execute for 10, 12 plays, move the ball down the field, and kind of chew up the clock a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's Navy football. Those long drives, and like you said, I think that's going to be huge. Keeping their offense off the field, giving our defense, some rest. They're playing really well so far, and I think having possession of the ball is always huge to win a game, and that's one of our goals too, is possessing the ball as much as we can, driving down the field, and I think we're conditioned for it. When we're tired, our coaches always say the defense is just as tired, if not more tired. So I think we just have to keep plugging on these long drives, finish in the red zone, get points when we can, and I think everything will work out for us.
How comfortable are you in the new offense at this point?
Very comfortable. I think we have a great system for our position. I still think, I'm very fit for it. There's some versatility, still getting out into some passes, trying to get us out on the edge. And I think, splitting reps with Daba is huge for, longevity. It's definitely a tough position to play. Getting hit a lot, having to block, run up the middle is definitely hard on the body. So, being able to split reps with Daba is huge.
So you all were picked 11th in the American Athletic Conference preseason poll, pretty low, down at the bottom of the conference.
No doubt.
Obviously, is the preseason favorite to win the championship. Can you talk about the statement that you can make in terms of your standing within your league with this game?
Yeah, like I said, it's a huge challenge, but this is a great opportunity to make ourselves known. I think we can all agree that I think 11 was a pretty unfair ranking. I think we're a lot better than 11. And I don't know how many people know that, but inside of our program, our staff, the players, our team, we know we're better than that. And, Memphis being number one, I think if we can, put them to rest, put them to sleep, I think, that just, creates a better name for ourselves. And the AAC is definitely going to be on watch if we can win this game. So.
Thanks, Alex.
Both Alex and Eli Heidenreich made their first career starts last year at Memphis. Scott Wyckoff.
How important is to you guys is that energy that you get from the brigade in big games like this at home?
Yeah, we're going to need them, as much as we need everybody on our team. I think having the home field advantage this year is going to be huge. The plebes get rowdy. They'll do their push-ups, hopefully a good bit on Saturday. And, just having the, all those guys behind us, cheering on, doing the chants. And it's not even the midshipmen. It's really the whole stadium, the whole fan base, the city of Annapolis. It's going to be huge to have them, behind us. We think it's going to be packed. I think, like I said, being the biggest game of the year and the biggest game for the past few years, I think it's going to be packed. And, having that home field advantage is going to be huge.
Playing a Memphis, is it like playing Notre Dame with the size and speed up and down their lineup?
It will be. Yeah, they're big, fast. They got a lot of transfers, like other schools do. Some big-time guys, big-time names playing on their defense. And like I said, they're 3-0. They think they should be in the top 25. They're going to play fast and hard. And we just got to be ready for it. We got to match up with those guys as best we can. Stick to fundamentals. We might be slower and, not as strong, but, it's I think if we play with enough grit, enough toughness, I don't think it'll be a problem at all.
How beneficial was the bye week coming after the second week for you guys in the offense, able to kind of tweak what you've done in week 1 and 2?
It's always nice having a bye week. We had some injured guys after Temple. And so to get some of those guys back this week will be huge. And then game plan wise, obviously, we have 2 weeks to prepare for Memphis. Last week they were preparing for FSU. So, getting after that, the game plan, getting in the book, 2 weeks for that is huge. And then I think, you kind of get lost in the season sometimes from week to week. It kind of all blends together. So having that bye week is definitely like a little reset. So I think, we can just relax a little bit, reset our mind, focus, and, just get after the game plan, like I said, and go into this week preparing even more.
What was it like for you guys able to watch the opponent that you're going to be playing in the coming week live on TV like you were able to do?
Yeah, it was fun. All of my buddies were watching on TV, and we were cheering for them. Obviously, we wanted to an even more challenge. We wanted the stakes even higher. So watching them win was pretty cool. And it's definitely different watching on live TV too than watching on film. So it was definitely fun to watch them get after FSU.
Thanks.
Wags.
Alex, Eli has really emerged as a big time playmaker. I mean, he did so last year, really, but this year now he's kind of the focal point of the passing game. How proud of you are you of your former high school teammate?
Yeah, super proud. He's one of my best friends. I've known him since the first grade, and I knew he's one of the best football players I've ever been around. He just puts in the work in the off season. He's just such raw talent. He loves the game. He loves to work off season after practice. He loves to get in the film, in the book, and he deserves all of his success right now. He really does. He's I think he's up for the challenge. We have him doing a lot all over the field, running the ball, like you said, passing, catching balls downfield, and he's suit for all of it. Really, he's one of our best playmakers. I think his versatility helps us even more. When he's getting locked on, getting guarded a lot, getting focused on, that opens up for opportunities for me and Daba, Chat, other playmakers. So it's a blessing to have him on the team for sure.
What do you think of the job Blake's doing operating the offense?
He's awesome. He's really come on this year. His confidence is unreal. I mean, last year he made some plays, but it's hard to put a new guy in there and have him make plays, have him be a captain of the offense and the team really as quarterback. This year he's just made so many plays for us that are just straight out impressive. He's really taking control of our offense. I think his confidence is resonating with all the other players who are playing out there, really the whole team even. So it's definitely great to see him making plays and having fun.
So we were talking about how good Memphis's defense is this season. So obviously you saw what they did against Florida State with all the tackles for loss and just wreaking havoc, creating turnovers. But are you all confident, based off what you've done in the first two games, that you can move the ball against this group?
I think absolutely. I think there's still more work to be done. I think we could have beat Temple by a lot more last week, and the game before, obviously, we had some issues, but I really do think we can. Just seeing what they do, we have a lot of plays that we haven't shown yet. A lot of schemes that we can run against them about what they do. I think we have a lot that can counter, all those blitzes they come with, different coverages, different looks up front. I think we have a lot. Coach Cronic really knows how to call games well. Obviously it's hard before the season starts, but I was confident in him the whole time he's been here, and he's done a great job the past 2 weeks, and I think he'll do another great job on Saturday. I really do, and I think we have, like I said, the skill, the talent to run with these guys. I really do. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a hard game to win, no doubt, but I really do think we can do it. We got to be perfect, as perfect as we can.
Thanks, Alex.
Anyone else have any questions? I know Pete joined us late, but he's just listening. He's driving. Anyone else have anything for Alex?
Just one more for me, Alex. How much have you incorporated with your coaches on the sidelines with the video, with the tablets now?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's something we had in high school, which we really took advantage of. And it's kind of cool. Just I remember on the touchdown run, I wanted to see my touchdown run. So it's always fun, looking at plays. But then, like you said, it's definitely the technical aspect of it. Seeing what the defense gives us, it gives us a whole nother perspective of what they're doing. And then if you make a mistake, you can fix it real quick on the sideline. And so it's really cool. It's definitely a little chaotic. We're getting used to it, but it's definitely very, very beneficial to have for sure.
And can you also tell the difference with Coach Cronic having the communication with Blake when you guys are out there setting up for your play?
Yeah, it's been a little weird at first. Sometimes Blake calls out the play before they can signal it in. So that's definitely there's definitely a learning curve. But I think as we keep going, keep getting used to it, it's going to be a lot easier for us. but I mean, I think it helps a lot for him, especially. I think Coach Cronic can, call out some things that, he might not see. Obviously, he has the bird's eye view up there in the box. So I think that just helps Blake with not only his playing, but his confidence as well. Making sure he knows what the defense is lining up in, making sure he gets the right reads. And I think it just benefits him. And then obviously that benefits the team. So it's definitely pretty cool. It's definitely cool technology. So.
Coach, what's impressed you the most as you've gone over film and watched this Memphis defense?
Oh, they're good. They run to the ball. They play extremely hard. And they do what they're supposed to do. I've been really impressed with just, how sound they've been. And they really went after Florida State. They really went after them. But it looks like a bunch of guys who've played together, and they got guys I think who've played, have played a good bit, and but they are explosive and twitchy and fast, and they play extremely physical, and they play with great effort. So it's a really good looking defense.
And it really looks as though Chandler Martin, as good as he was last year, has really come into his own this season as a dominant linebacker.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I think he actually transferred from East Tennessee State a couple years ago, which we played against him when I was at Mercer, and I was impressed with him then. So he's a problem. You got to. The bottom line is, we got to get a hat on a hat and play really hard, which our kids will go play hard. But they fly around, and I've been really, really impressed with them defensively, really impressed.
What have you liked about what you've been able to tweak after the first couple of weeks with the bye week coming into the Memphis game with your offense?
I think we're just kind of, every season is different, and every team is different. So you're trying to just evolve towards what you feel like your kids do well, and so I think I'm getting a better feel for, who our players are, especially our quarterback. You can't always tell until you get in live stuff, and play against other teams. You can't always tell. But now that we've been able to see Blake play live, see all the guys play live for a couple of weeks, and I think, like I said, every year you have your base stuff, but you always evolve a little bit towards just what you feel like you're good at and what you feel like your guys do well. You want to put them in good situations. So hopefully that, now we're going to be unbelievably tested this Saturday. I mean, you're any little mistake, anything you're not doing fundamentally sound will be exposed, and so we've got to play really good. But I think just, you're not making wholesale changes from week to week, but you're doing little things and trying to build on what you did the previous week, and just try to continue to move in a direction that you feel like your players are, comfortable in things they do well.
Thanks.
Wags.
Can you talk about the challenge that's facing you? I mean, as we saw what Memphis did to Florida State in terms of wreaking havoc, a lot of tackles for loss, sacks, forced turnovers. I mean, this is really going to be a true test for your offense.
No question. I mean, we're playing probably a top 10 defense in the country, which is exciting. You got to take on that challenge, and see it as a great opportunity, which I think our guys will. And, so we're going to find out where we're at, but we're going to go be aggressive. We're going to go, we're going to call an aggressive game. We're going to, but I have a lot of respect for what I see from them on film. Their kids are playing hard, man. I love watching kids play hard, and I think our kids play really hard, so you got to be excited about that challenge, to see if you can go do, and move the ball and score some points when other teams have not been able to do that. Teams were really good players, so I'm excited about that opportunity for our guys to go see how they measure up.
So, I mean, things have gone pretty well for the offense through 2 games. You put up a lot of points and yards. What are you interested to see how the offense as a whole reacts if they get hit in the mouth a little bit and maybe, things don't go as well?
Absolutely. Those times are coming at some point, right? So every team's got to decide in those moments if they're going to double down on who they are and what their identity is and what they believe in, and keep believing in those things, and so you hope that our guys have a good look about them right now. Their confidence is building. We played a pretty clean game last weekend. Didn't beat ourselves. Those are positive things. No offensive penalties. No turnovers, no sacks, and some explosion plays, and finished in the red zone. Now, all those things are going to be magnified against a really, really good opponent. And so we've got to play clean football. We can't beat ourselves. If we beat ourselves, it's going to be a long day. We've got to go do what we do well. We got to attack these guys. But like I said, I like our players. I mean, I'm excited to go get in a situation where you're playing a top team in the country and see how you respond to that, and get them at home, and there's no mission impossibles. Okay, we're going to go throw everything at them we got, and I think we got an opportunity.
In terms of Blake and how he's operating the offense, I mean, do you feel like there's a lot of confidence going into this game? And, this is a world of difference from last season, which, when Memphis rolled around, I think he got into that game, actually, if I recall correctly, Strauss.
He did. Yep.
So he's a completely different football player.
Yeah, and I think he's this time a year ago, obviously another year under his belt, year of maturity, extended health, being able to go through a whole spring, getting some confidence in the first 2 games. Blake's a good football player. Now we need him to play good. He's got to play at a high level. There's no question. But I got a lot of confidence in Blake Horvath. Now he's going to make some mistakes in the game. Okay, there's going to be some bad stuff that happens. There's going to be, when you get in a game like this, you got to be able to overcome some stuff and not let one bad play turn into 7 bad plays. You got to realize that you just got to keep chipping away, and you got to keep executing and keep playing. But our kids are tough now. We got good, tough kids. They're smart. They're disciplined. We just got to go be us. Go do what we've been doing. Go execute. And I think that'll give us a chance. I really do. But you can't turn it over. All the things we didn't do last week, that can't show up. We can't have pre-snap penalties. We can't turn the ball over. We got to make plays when the plays are there. We got to break a few tackles. We got to leverage blocks. We got to, against teams that are good, against a team that is good against those things. They do a great job defeating blocks. They do a great job in space. They're pretty disciplined, and they play fast, so we've got to be able to match those things.
Can you talk about the possession and importance of time of possession? Because I think this is one game where holding on to the ball can be advantage in terms of helping your defense against a very explosive offense. Memphis is used to being in shootouts.
Yeah, there hadn't been any shootouts the last 3 weeks, but sure, possessing the ball. I'm not going to be upset about any 2-play drives though that end in points. I think, but we can't go out there and go 3 and out. We can't do that multiple times, and we got to be able to play complementary football. I think we have a really good defense. I think our special teams really played well last week, and so I thought we won the hidden yardage, and that offensively plays into that as well, because we can't turn the ball over and give them good field position. We got to be able to drive the ball, flip fields, and sometimes if you can do that, get 2 or 3 first downs. Sometimes you got to punt. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. But we can't get out there and have 3 and outs, multiple 3 and outs, and that's not going to help us win the game for sure.
Last for me for now. Based on what you saw against Florida State, what does critical to neutralizing this Memphis defense and maybe getting them more on the defensive instead of the attack mode, because it seemed that's what against Florida State they were in attack mode and really causing disruptions, and you got to try to get them on the back foot.
Sure. I think we're a different style than Florida State, obviously. I think we've got to go attack them, and we've got to do a good job, in space, whether it's blocking or running the ball. We got to be able to hit layups, stay on the field, hopefully, have them thinking a little bit, making them think one more time. You can't just let them pin their ears back and play ball, so we need to stay out in third and long for sure. But I just think it's going to be, can we get them, get them thinking a little bit, with good execution, being able to formation some things and make them think one more step. I think if you just turn them loose and let them go at you, they're really hard to deal with.
Wyckoff.
Coach, how do you like the coming out of the bye week, the depth and also the versatility of your offensive line as you move a couple things around during these 2 weeks?
Yeah, I've been really, really pleased with that bunch. And Jay and Tommy and Jason have done a great job coaching those guys, and they're getting more and more confident. But you got a guy coming in that we lost a starter last week, and so we've got to adapt, and we've got to continue to practice well so that you can build depth. Those guys that aren't getting in the games where they're always one play away. So I just think we can't do 8,000 different things schematically. Okay, we've got to be good up front at what we're good at. And allow those guys to be able to play fast and not have to worry about a lot. So. But that group's done a really solid job. They've played so hard. That's when you turn the film on, they're not playing perfect, but they're playing really hard and they're having fun. And we want our guys to play with a freedom to, not worry about making mistakes, to be able to come off the ball and attack. If you block the wrong guy, let's block the daggum dog out of him.
Yeah.
And not be hesitant, not be passive. So that's the way, we want to call a game. I need to call a game that allows them to do that, and allows them to do what they do well. So, but they're going to be challenged now. They're going to be challenged this week, and great looking defensive front, athletic, and they play well with their hands. And, so we've got to go play a fundamentally sound game where we just come off and we're aggressive. And that's what we need our guys to do up front.
As a head coach, you were calling the game from the field. Do you like being able to focus now that you're calling the game from the box where you can just focus on that one thing and you're not having to deal with all that other management?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's easy for me to see some things and get good information. Obviously being able to talk to the quarterbacks on the speaker there has been valuable, but I'm enjoying being in the box for sure. Now, my legs don't get near as tired either. Yeah. I get to sit in a chair.
Thanks.
Wags.
I mean, this is kind of why you came to Navy, to play games like this. This is as big as it gets as far as your conference. This is the team that everyone's picked to win the American Athletic Conference Championship. Like you said, at home, you're off to a good start. I mean, this is a great opportunity. Can you talk about that and how much you personally are looking forward to being part of this?
Yeah, I'm excited about the challenge. And I think our kids are, and I don't want them to go, the way you go win games like this is you just go play. Okay. You just go play. You don't worry about a lot of stuff. You go play. I don't think we got a lot to lose. We can just go turn it loose. And I think, they just had a huge win, obviously. So we'll see how kind of they respond to that as well. I mean, there's a lot of things about it that are interesting, and man, we get to play at home, and I think this is a great place to play. I really do. Our fans are awesome, and our kids enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it personally. And at the same time, you try huge game, and we want to go play well. And for 3 hours, we got to go play really good. All the preparation you do in the off season, all that, it all comes down to now a 3-hour period on a Saturday, and that's the case every weekend. We want to go try to win every game we play. And so I think it's all you can ask of the players is to go do what they're coached to do and play their guts out and enjoy it. You don't want to be so bound up that you can't. I mean, this is a lot of people don't get to do this, right? So I want them to have an appreciation for the opportunity that they have. I want to be able to enjoy it myself, because I'm the same way. I get so wound up by, man, I want to put these kids in great situations, and am I going to be able to do that? I stay up after a game all night thinking about what I should have called and what I shouldn't have called. But all of us need to be able to trust our preparation, and then just go enjoy and play the game. You go play the game, and then see what happens, and I want that for me, for our coaching staff, our offensive staff, who I've had so much fun working with. Our offensive coaches, our staff has done an unbelievable job. I've learned so much from Ivan Jasper, about a lot of things option football related, and all the other guys, everybody coming together and coaching these kids hard and caring about them. So you want everybody to be able to feel like, man, we prepared and we went out there and we did everything we could to help the guys go play well. And then you want them to be able to go enjoy that and feel like they did everything they could do. That's all that we can ask of them, so we're excited about that opportunity. And but there's also, I believe, going to be a lot of great opportunities, that we get to go do. And if we just keep getting better and preparing and all that, then we'll make the most out of those chances.
So Memphis has defended Navy fairly well. They've won 5 straight matchups in this series and have defended Navy fairly well over that time. I think there was a game Navy lost 10-7. Last year Navy was held to whatever it was, 24 points. What do you see, and do you kind of figure that Memphis will do what it's done against Navy in the past because it's had success in the past?
Well, it's a new defensive coordinator, okay, and he was on the staff already. He's a really aggressive guy, so I think they'll, I think it'll be a little different than for them schematically. It's a little bit of a guessing game, but I think he anytime you got new coordinators calling the game, he's going to bring his own flavor to that. So how much you can look at previous games over the years. Every team is new, every team is different, but you can do some of that when the coordinators remain the same. So you got a new coordinator for them. I'm the new offense coordinator here. Every game is its own story. So we've certainly looked at last year's game, but we've looked at a lot of games, and trying to just piece together what we think they might do and try to put together a good game plan that gives our kids a good chance.
Without giving away state secrets, are there some things you do early in the game to try to get a feel for how a team is trying to defend you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you don't really know when you're different offensively, you don't often find film that is helpful to you as you'd like it to be, because a lot of people don't line up the way that you do. You got kind of an idea, certainly their base packages, but defensively, but the first, you're wanting to, early in the game, figure out how they're going to play us, and then it's a cat and mouse game, a little bit of maybe he shows us one thing the first series and then goes a different direction. There's a lot of that, back and forth of trying to figure out, where they're going to be. And he's trying to figure out, where our team's going to be over there. And so you're definitely feeling out what might be there. Okay. And you certainly want to have, especially for us, we want to have, certain plays called versus certain things, and to give our kids the best chance. So that's the first quarter. Hopefully by the end of the first quarter, you got a good feel for it. But there's a lot of great defense coaches out there that change things up. They'll change things up at halftime. It's a lot about going back and forth. You got the iPads now. You can really see a lot of what's going on between series, but yeah, I'm not, you don't want to call a game blind. You want to have a pretty good feel for where they are and what they're trying to do.
With Trey going down, you're having to do some reshuffling along the offensive line. You're going to have to figure out a different starting lineup from the Temple game, but you also have to, develop your depth and figure out who's going to be your first tackle in, your first guard. Where do you feel you are? Or did you feel like the bye week was a great opportunity to test some combinations and see what the best groups are?
Yeah, it gave us a chance just to get guys reps, and you certainly hate to lose anyone, okay, at any position. And, it ultimately, I think a season is determined a lot by those factors, how things turn out, who all's left standing healthy. I've had teams where we've had the same offensive line start the entire season in the past, and I've had teams where it's just been, each week you're trying to piece it together, and you got to figure it out because everybody's dealing with injuries, So I think we got a pretty good. I think we got, Jay's done a good job with that, just trying to figure out who, you're getting your best five out there, and then be able to have a third tackle, a third guard, a second center, and get those guys the reps they need to feel comfortable, and then those kids got to step up. They got to go play. So Cam Nichols has got to go play good. And Bhutan's got to move around some and play good, and that's just the nature of the game, So, but I feel like we've been able to, that I think you're right. I think the bye week probably with having an injury there certainly helped us.